Hello, my name is Kelly Bluen. I am a certified Zentangle teacher, and I also love to doodle. So for the month of March, I am making 31 videos with a new drawing challenge each day. And I'm getting my prompts from cutelittlepaper.com, and Natasha has created a beautiful list of fun spring-like things for us to draw. So today is day 27, I think it's day 27, and the prompt is spring wreath. So let's just take a quick peek through some of our pages. Look at all of these. Who knew we could draw this much? So many fun things. I just can't believe how much we've done in the last couple of weeks. So yesterday was 26, the cute little ants. And today is the 27th. So I've got my little homemade drawing book here, my Micron pen, some graphite pencils, my blending tools called tortillons, and I also have some Sakura Jelly Roll pens. These are linked in the description of this video if you would like them. They are my favorites. Okay, so here we go, a spring wreath. So there are many variations of spring wreaths, and I want you to do what you like, what you enjoy. So I'm going to start with just a basic circle, and I'm going to fill it in with some flowers and vines. If you would like to do yours more of like a frame, or you want to do a wreath that has, several vines in it, whatever you want to do. So just draw along and make it your own. All right, so I'm going to start with a circle, which I think is the scariest part. If you would like to trace something that you have laying around, you can do that. I'm just going to, with my pencil, make a few rough sketches of circles until I find the shape that I like. So this is how I draw a circle. I just keep going until I feel like it looks pretty good. And I think that looks pretty good. Then I'm going to take my pencil, I'm going to darken the shape that I want. And it's going to be covered in all kinds of fun things, so it doesn't matter if it's not perfect. And I'm doing mine in pencil so that I can go back later and erase the pencil marks, and all we'll have left is our beautiful foliage. Okay, I'm going to grab my pen. So what I thought would be fun to do is to start with a larger flower and some larger leaves down in a corner, and then add smaller things around it. So if you want your larger piece to be in the bottom center, you can. If you want it to be at the top of your wreath, you can. I'm going to put mine off to the side, not for any particular reason. Okay, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Maybe. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to begin with a flower, and I'm going to put my center of my flower right on my wreath. Then I'm going to make some large rounded petals, and these are going to go like this and then bump a few times and come back around. My next one, I'm going to leave a little bit of space in between them. They don't have to be perfect. It can be a little wobbly, a little funny. This one I'm going to put a little closer and leave extra space over here so that I can put one in the background and one over there and one there. And I didn't want them to look exactly even, so I wanted these background ones to be a little bit different sizes. It still came out kind of even accidentally, but you get the idea. In the center, I'm going to fill this in mostly black, but I'm going to leave a little bit of space. And then on these petals, I'm going to use that flick technique where we push down and then we lift up as we flick and pull away. And I'm going to do some curvy ones on the sides of the petals, and then a few straighter ones in the middle. Curves and some straight. Those can be different sizes. The background ones you can't see quite as much. Then I'm going to add a leaf over here and a leaf behind that one. Put in my little center lines. And then I'm going to curve these little V shapes. Curve, curve. Just curving right down into the center and curve the other side. I think that's a pretty good start. All right, you ready to keep going? Okay, I'm going to place a few flowers around the edge. So I'm just going to put some little circle middles. And then you can do whatever kind of a flower you want. It can have these wide petals like that. It can be more of just sort of a daisy or something with just these little petals. And if I do this, I like to put one little flick in the middle just to give it some interest. Another one. Leave some space so we can put some other fun things in there. Maybe this one I'll try to do similar to the large one. Kind of some bigger petals. Some petals behind it. I think I'm going to do a little pattern, switching from that sort of a daisy flower to that one with the wider petals. But there are so many different little flowers you could do, so if you want to do something else, go ahead. I'm going to try to fit 2 or 3 more on here. Again, I do want to leave space in between them to add things, so don't make them too close. I think I just have room for one more. Looks kind of Hawaiian right now. Okay, did you get your flowers in there? All right, I'm going to do a Zentangle pattern. I often say this is one of my favorites, but this truly is. Let me get a piece of scrap paper here. Okay, so this tangle pattern I have used before, and it is called YOLO by Angie Giddles. And it goes like this. It comes up in a little spiral. And then we put in a leaf. And then she adds this little circle in between the leaf and that little spiral, and she inks in that area underneath. Look at how cute that is. So we're going to do that. Okay, so I'm going to start down here, and I'm not going to ink in my line yet, but I am going to follow my line. So I'm going to come up that line and just put in a little curve. And then I want to put in this little leaf in there and a little circle. Maybe it would be easier if I just inked in the line right now. I think that would be easiest. Let's go ahead and do that. Just connect yours. Yeah, we'll do that because our leaves and things can go over it if we need to. Okay. So now it's up to you how many of these you want to put in each section. And if you want to alternate and put some inside and some outside, you also can play around with this. So you could add another leaf off to the opposite side or add a little leaf up in here. So whatever you want to do. Just make sure you're leaving room for that cute little leaf pattern. And a little circle. And if you end up not having room after you make your little spiral, then make it on the opposite side. See right there, I didn't really have room. Well, I could just tuck it in behind that flower. Let's do that. Okay, did you get some of those in? All right, now I'd like to do some kind of, I don't know why it's all wiggly right now. I think my chair bumped my table. Okay, so now I want to put in just some little lines that come out with a little leaf at the end. So I'm going to do one right here. So I make my little line, and then I make this pointy raindrop type shape with some of that line sticking out into it. So I can do another one over here. You can do them on the opposite side of the little YOLO ones. You could also do like a double one. You can put them wherever you want. We're just kind of filling in space now. Could even make it come out of that little YOLO like that. It's looking so pretty. Okay, finish those up. Right now I'm going to do a couple of these little things. I think we did them in our grassy meadow one, but I'm going to put in a little line and a circle. And I can do these like by themselves, or I can do these as like a double or a triple. Just kind of find little spots to put those. Look at how cute that is right there. It's such a cute little filler. Okay, we're almost done. So now to fill in kind of some of the other places, this is another one that we did, I think in our meadow, where we come out and put a little top on like that, and then little tiny leaves down the base of it. So this is a fun one just to sort of place anywhere you feel like you need a little bit more filler. And they can hang down a little bit, they can take up some space, they can stick out a little. Wherever you think you need to put a little something. You can also go back in and add more of those little leaves or the ones with the circles on the end. Then I'm just going to add a couple little curly cues. So I'm just going to come up in a couple places and just put in the tiniest little spiral. I feel like this wreath is all about the little details. It can even come out of a flower to give that flower a little extra. What are you thinking? Do you like it? All right, I feel like this big flower down here needs a few little wisps of things. So I'm going to put some things coming out the leaf area. And maybe some out this side. You don't have to do this part if you don't think yours needs it. I'm going to add a couple little dots just because I feel like that adds a lot. All right, do you guys like it? Now, if your ink is dry, you can grab your eraser and get some of those pencil lines out. They're mostly covered up by ink anyway, so it's not a big deal. Ooh, there we go. Look at that, it's so pretty. I'm gonna add a little bit of shading to the big flower. So I'm gonna go around that middle. I'm gonna push that up and out into those petals just a little bit. And then where a petal goes over another petal, I'm gonna add a little shadow on each side. So right there and right there. This petal goes over this one and over this one. And this petal goes over this one and that one. And that just gives that plant some depth, and it shows that those petals are tucking in behind. And I'm going to put a shadow over the leaves where that flower goes over them. That just helps those leaves look like they're tucking down in behind. And then where one leaf goes over another, I'm going to give it a shadow. Look at that layering that happens. Then I'm going to put a little bit just on that center line, a tiny bit on each leaf for that illusion that leaves are kind of curling in. Look at that. With my blending tool that already has some graphite on it, or I could add a little more. Just gonna go around the center of those first little flowers that we made. Just give them a little bit of shadow. Okay, there we go. There it is in black and white. Of course, you have your pens. You can add some green to the leaves, add some color to the flowers, make it look amazing. But I think that turned out quite beautiful, and I hope that you loved it as well. So that is our spring wreath. We've only got 4 more days. That's it, 4 more days. Oh my goodness. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye-bye.